basing it on what you think is in between my legs.
Tantalizing Courtney.
Lady Joielle. And the beautiful Christian. How are you doing, guys? And as always, SirRon. Live in effect.
And on today's Relating to Connect, Does Gender Matter? Edition 2, in your opinion, what is the origin of the world's concept on gender? Joielle?
Break that down for me a little bit. What the origin of the world's
concept of gender. Where do you feel this concept and need to classify actually came from in the grand scheme of things?
Like everything back in the old time. When I say, to me, I figured it came out in my mind. It's like sort of a label so people will know how to identify a person, or how to know. How do I know that block is Martin Luther King Drive if it don't have a name or a label? So that's how I think they say, I want to know what's the difference from that block and that block. That's in my mindset, it's just another label to identify people until they got to now where the labeling is just going crazy. But I think it's just basically another type of labels. Some people don't like labels. I don't like labels, but I respect those who has a label or that do like labels. But I think it's just basically came back in the old time days, and sometimes they go through that through the Bible, like you said. I believe through the religion on how everything goes on. And now that people are not so much going through the Bible, or some people don't view the same, but don't receive the same message everybody receives when they read the Bible, interpret this Bible. But right now, that's where I believe it came from. My opinion.
All right, Joielle, and now Christian, what do you think is the origin of this world concept of gender? And why do we feel the need to classify?
I'm going to just start with why I feel the need to classify it. Because again, and this is just me, I'm a person, if you get to know me, you'll know two things. Regardless if I am this or anything else, I'm still human. My gender should not dictate what you think or feel. Gender has started basically, as the beautiful Joielle said herself, back with religion. And if I'm going to say this, Adam and Eve, which, again, next case, because that is not even where that book should even begin. But again, we as a society, we learn that this stuff evolves, as you said, Aaron. This gender evolves, so does sexuality. Hence why the LGBTQ plus community changes. It's not always the basic LGBTQ plus. The plus is in there to include all the others on the spectrum.
All right. And Courtney, what do you say about that?
I mean, I agree with Joielle on this particular topic. So, yeah, it's right now. I'm just going to agree with Miss Joielle.
Okay. All right. Ronald? In your opinion... When I first looked at this question, it was a matter of opinion. I am a person of true diversity. So when I think about the origin of it, ever since man has been given the ability to create or label or call whatever they want something to be, they have been doing it. Unlike Joielle, I love labels. I really do. I've just come to a place remember living in that box for a very long time. One of the reasons why I'm now non-gender conforming. Motherfuck you and what gender you think I am, because you're basing it on what you think is in between my legs. But if I pull my pants down and what you think is there is not there, you will be sadly mistaken. So SirRon just identifies himself, and I try and ask people how they want to be identified, so I get to know the individual or being that's in front of me, and not what I perceive it to be from an external look.
Okay, and Joielle, unmute, go ahead.
Can I just be honest in opinion? This is my whole thing. When I saw it on here, I never heard it till you said it, Christian, because I really don't follow those letters. I think it started with LGBT, then they started adding Q, then they started adding A, I, and it just gets too confusing. It's like, to me, I really never follow it. But honestly, I do believe people do have the right to be respected and self-identified. I agree that you allow somebody to self-identify themselves. You know, I'm a trans, and there's still certain things I probably would never understand with the alphabet community, but I do respect, because like nowadays, how all these people want to be their pronouns, I have to go around. It started in my trans group. How do you want to, what's your PGP? What's your preferred gender pronoun? So therefore, I can find a way to respect you. Whether I understand the pronoun you want to be used, because honestly, and I don't want to offend nobody, the most confusing pronoun to me is that they pronoun. I will respect it, don't get me wrong, because that's how I am, and I want you to respect my pronoun. But it's really confusing when I'm having a conversation with somebody. Like if I'm having a conversation with Courtney, and I'm talking about Christian. Courtney, did you speak to Christian yesterday? They was like such and such. And even with a lot of people at work, they were like this. But did you just say Christian? Who's they? Christian and who else? Christian and who else? I said, no, that's just their pronoun. So, you know, when you identify somebody as they, it sometimes to me add on extra education. So my thing is, I usually never say the pronoun. When I'm talking to somebody, I just say their name. And it makes especially if I just want to get one statement out without having to explain, I'm not talking about multiple people. I just say their name. So Ms. Joielle, to add on to what you're saying, basically, I appreciate you bringing up the whole they, them pronoun situation, because I do identify that way. Those are not the only two pronouns I do use. I do use he, him. Those are the other two pronouns I do use. That's the other thing too. This is a common occurrence with people. We don't only use they, them pronouns. Some of us use she, her, they, them, and in between. It's not just one. Again, the pronouns are we just choose to use they, them as a default practically, to make it easier on the people who are listening, the people who do want to learn. Sometimes we do use he, him. I do use he, him sometimes, and then they, them. These go in between. These can go hand in hand in certain situations.
Why use him and him if you say you don't identify as a he or him?
In the situation of if you're around, okay, let me explain. In the case of people not knowing who you are, you would use he, him. If you're around people that know you, you would use they, them.
You said you don't identify as a he or him, so that should not even be one of the words that comes up. I'm
gonna just say it this way: even a trans man can use they, them pronouns and still be a man. Even a cisgender person can
but
still.
We're not talking about. We're talking about you specifically.